So, hey, what's up?
Hey, girl, hey. I can't believe I'm not there with you. But
That's why you're looking like Amara Peckham with your beanie. Just look really weird. I don't even know why you're wearing that stuff. Did I not tell you that it makes you look funny? It's London.
You don't know fashion.
No disrespect though.
You don't know fashion. You don't know fashion. I mean, I know a London girl. She won't even be like complimenting me. I'm representing the town.
You're wearing it for fashion. Because the way you're wearing your hair cool makes sense. You're not trying to protect your head at all. It's just, I don't know, whatever it is that the thing is doing. But yeah, anyways.
Money reads.
What do you feel about what happened?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, Niani reads, but I'll leave you. Okay, so I wanted to ask, what's your opinion about what happened between Kiki Palmer and her Bobo? But it's not even her husband, baby daddy.
And I know, actually the one where he commented on that her picture with Usher, and he said it's the outfit.
Exactly.
Your mom.
Yeah, mom though. Something about it's your outfit for me or something.
Yeah.
Outfit for me or something. Yeah, mom or something. Yeah.
I mean, I get where he's coming from, but he didn't need to come on the interwebs to post that. Like
exactly. Like why can't you wait till you get to your house?
Yes. And then didn't he see her?
Abby?
Yeah, and then didn't he see her when she was leaving the house?
No, maybe he went grocery shopping. Do you understand? She
would have sent him pictures.
Maybe he wasn't around. But maybe she didn't send her behind.
The back. She only
her naked butt cheek.
It was covered.
Exactly.
It was covered.
He probably didn't. With what? With mesh. With mesh or something, because I think that she's wearing or she was wearing this mesh, right?
It was covered.
It's not in my place, right?
Yeah.
But probability is that he didn't see her, right? I just think that so you guys can't talk about your issues at home.
As in,
why is it in the public space? And what's your point? I don't get. Why are you trying to?
Are you trying to shame her?
Could it be that they thought about it? Exactly. Or could it be that they thought about it? Because that doesn't make sense. Maybe like I wore something to a party, right?
Yeah.
And then I posted it on Instagram, and then my husband family goes, this is what you should have worn out of the house or something. I believe that maybe I wore it in the house. I mean, another angle I'm looking at it from is that maybe she wore it and then they argued about it because Kilofefa
public embarrassment.
Could it have been that they were having exactly a conversation before she left the house? She just said you can't control what I'm wearing or something. Because that's how I'm trying to think about it. Because if you didn't have a fight, public shaming. Yeah. I don't get. So you couldn't wait till I go home to say you don't like what I'm wearing or something.
Yeah, and then I know
that gone. Right.
I think he even actually doubled down on the tweet, right? Where he was saying that he knows that people are hating on him and all of that, but he still stands by what he said because he's the man of the house or something, and like why would his baby mom go out with something like that?
What house? Are they married? What house? And if he's being so sanctimonious, maybe they shouldn't have been having sex before marriage, and they should have gotten married and then. Yeah, Abby. Sanctimonious rants. Do you understand, right? I mean, I'm all up for doing the right thing. But, that's why, God knows all of these things. That's why God just says that, like, before you start talking about the log in another person's eye, just remove the one in your own eye. So, it's easy for him to say, oh, I want to be like a stand-up guy. I don't want my baby mama to be wearing rubbish, right? But the whole essence, the whole thing that got you here in the first place wasn't like the right way. Do you understand? Maybe that's why God says that so that they don't disgrace you publicly. Don't focus on the log in your own eye so that you will not be disgraced. So God always has a way of like these things kind of like panning out because Kilofa doubling down, right? Wait for the girl to get. Yeah, I think maybe they had a fight about it already because it's really off. for somebody that claims that they love you, that they will not be shaming you. It's probably that maybe you guys are fighting. Do you understand?
And then she also now sent some, some cryptic messages. She said, "I'm a mother," and then she's even also selling shirts that read, "I'm a mother."
I don't know, so what does this even mean for them? Because if they're wearing fighting, right, I'm going back to go and tell him off. I mean, maybe if they didn't have a fight like ab initio or something, then I'm probably going home to go and say, Kilofa, mess.
Everybody turning on down, yeah.
Whatever. I just felt like it was very funny, a bit off. That's why I wanted to talk about it. Maybe something to now then ask it, does that mean, what do you feel about, your bobo telling you what to wear, not what to wear? What do you think?
I would say let's leave that for when I'm married. And then...
it could be like your bobo. In this case, they weren't even married now. What would you do?
I don't know. So
I think maybe it's coming from a good place, because even sometimes, right, Femi wears some things and I'm like, a whole husband of mine now in my forehand,
I can imagine. I can imagine.
That doesn't mean I'm controlling what he's wearing. I think that maybe it's even from a good place to say, you want your bobo to be looking really hot.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's the same way sometimes I wear something and then my husband is like, why are you looking like an argument? And and I have to be like, my life, me, fashionista. And he's like, don't wear the trainers, wear heels, wear this. I don't think he's being controlling by saying that. I think he's coming from a good place. So represent the family properly.
Yeah.
Don't go out and let them be abusing you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I think it's neither here nor there, right? So far it's coming from a good place, not like you're being controlling.
Yeah, well, for me, it's actually more about the whole, I think maybe I was also upset that, she was that close to Usher, and, Usher was seemingly serenading her, right? So, and that's where I can respond, right? Because, if me and my husband or whatever, we go to an Usher concert and he calls me on stage, I am going to that stage to get serenaded by Usher. I don't.
No, but it depends on the kind of serenade. Now, you have to get there and
exactly. Let me go to the stage first.
Just be like, you can just be there, just be screaming, crying. Let me tell you, but Femi would have left me. I'm going to walk home by myself. That one I even know in my family were rubbish. So it's bad enough that he called me on stage. It's bad enough that I made the decision to follow him to that stage.
Right.
Then for me to get there and be fangirling on stage, in the public, in the very public.
So there's... Obviously, you control yourself now. You control yourself.
I know, but some people won't be able to go. So you have to be specific, Femi.
If he says he wants to sit on my lap,
you control yourself.
He wants to sit. He can sit down. That's all he can do. He can't do anything else, but he can sit down. Because...
No, he can sit on your lap.
Yes. But...
Femi would have left me. I'm going to Uber home. On his for sure.
Because
because
if reverse was the case, right? If let's say we went to a Beyonce concert or a Janet Jackson concert, and Beyonce calls my husband to the stage, please be going. Go and represent our family. Don't.
I don't know.
Anything Beyonce wants to do to you is allowed.
I don't think that Femi will go. I mean, if he goes, right, he's not going to go there and I'll be fangirling up and fanboying if there's anything like that.
Exactly right.
Right? So he will just compare himself and still represent the family.
Yeah.
I think the issue is maybe not the issue, but the thing is comportment.
Yes, exactly.
And then don't just get there and just be saying, I'll be crying out.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we're not going to be twerking or doing any of that, but I mean, I know I can trust that, either me or you, we will definitely, be proper, be modest and all of that.
I just be smiling.
Exactly.
But that's how that Usher is just busy dallying up and down. After that one, did he do the same thing to Issa Rae?
Oh, was it Issa Rae? I know he did something to, was it Winnie Harlow?
I think it was Issa. I think it was Issa Rae as well that he was dancing with. And then she was there blushing. I'm like, but boy, he's got problems, man.
I saw the one with Winnie Howell, I think, and she immediately went to sit on her husband's legs, like Marco Bawa.
Like a beg, Marco Bawa. You don't know, maybe her husband would just leave her, and she will have to call Uber or something. So I think that's the other thing, right? Being able to know what your partner can
tolerate,
handle, and tolerate, and what is fair. You know, for some people they don't mind, but you know, I think that people always misconstrue what, you know, a relationship would be. Like, if you know, at least before you're dating somebody, right, you will shall know, or when you're dating somebody, you will know what the limits are with the person. Okay, so if whoever you're dating, boy or girl, is very fussy or very private, then, you know, and that's something that you're fine with, you have to respect that for them, because a relationship is about compromising and all of that, right? But you cannot have a partner that is private and then you want to go public all of the time, and then you're saying the person is abusive. No, because the person has already told you from the beginning that, well, me, I'm private. So it's left to you to say, do you want to deal with somebody that is so private? Because they have their own limits as well. So so I think it is relative, right? So some people won't mind you going on stage twerking, right? Because, you know, it's not something that they can frown at.
Maybe you're a stripper or something. So obviously, I think
exactly.
A stripper don't strip.
But for some people, for some people, they just have their own limits. I just think it's trying to understand. It's neither bad nor good. But, you know, you just need to understand the limit.
Which brings to four. I don't know if you saw what happened with Jonah Hill and his ex-girlfriend over the weekend, right? Where she came out with receipts where, you know...
Sally girl.
Sarah.
With an S.
Yeah, Sarah, where, you know, she was... where she was saying basically that, you know, he tried to... control her, and was saying that she couldn't post some pictures, you know, and talking about boundaries, right? Like, I mean, he did set boundaries, and again, we're not in the relationship, right? It's only what we are saying that, you know, we can talk about. But in the context of what she posted, I don't see anything wrong with what Jonah did or said. Because
he kept saying that if you can do you, but me, I don't want to be part of that. He kept saying, he didn't say she cannot do what she wants to do, but he cannot tolerate.
Yeah, like if she wants to, if she wants to post like naked pictures, if she wants to model, if she wants to be running around with male with guys, So it's definitely all
surface and all of that. But that he's not interested. But I don't think he said anything like don't run around with male surface. What he said was he found it very disrespectful, and that if that's what she wants to do, that's fine.
But, and he wishes her well, no hard feelings.
One side of the story, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, no hard feelings, but I just think it's like, you know, Mike Murdoch used to say something that, I read it, it stuck when I was younger, like that you can't complain about what you tolerate or what you've even tolerated before.
Time. Yes, exactly.
You trigger. So for him, he's already saying that, I don't want to eat this meat, so why am I smelling it? I think that's fair, because there was even in one of her screenshots or something, there was a part where she acquiesced to the fact that the guy said something around he's going to do a kissing scene.
Yes, he asked her. Yeah, he has her permission.
Is she okay?
Yes.
Yeah, he saw her permission. So he's that kind of person. You can't be dating somebody that seeks your permission to do stuff because he feels that if my baby's not comfortable with it, then I won't do it.
Yes.
Do you understand? And then you don't want to seek permission. So it's kind of like, so for me from the beginning, right, the relationship shouldn't have happened because they're definitely not on the same page. So I'm not trying to downplay the abuse. There could have been some level of abuse and all of that.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what?
Based on the content.
Yeah. I mean, even it also goes to the fact where, you know, what even is emotional abuse, right? Like, you know, we just see words on the internet and we just decide to run with it, right? Like, how was that emotionally abusive? Like, and I think it comes from the part where we just want to label things and then just run with it. Like, you know how, you know, millennials are like, oh, I have ADHD. okay, do you really have ADHD or you're just lazy? I'm sure there are people who are definitely diagnosed with ADHD, but sometimes we just see things and say, this looks like what I have, so this must be what I have, right? So even that emotional abuse, it's like, was it really there? Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And then you know how it is that people get excited once they hear stuff and people are just judging. But you need to be able to look at things objectively, really. And and judge, or not even judge, and just look at it objectively and just let it be, because it's not like both of them came out and were kind of like airing their thoughts and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We're done with their story, Isha.
Yes. So sorry. Before we start where we are starting, right? Let's just give a quick shout out to RMD. His birthday was July 6th, I think, last week.
Go on.
So, do you remember when RMD came to QC and all hell wanted to break loose, and then the next day received punishment because it was like a whole Russian moment, like everybody left their class.
People couldn't comport themselves.
Well, we served punishment the next day, right? And I don't even know if anybody got to see him. I didn't see him, but the way when we heard, you guys, RMD is around, like the way everybody left their class and just rushed. I think it was maybe the yard. What is it called? Assembly ground. Sorry, not the yard. Assembly ground, where the principal's office was. Yeah. So that memory is forever etched, in my memory. In my mind, rather. So thank you, RMD, for the memories.
Thank you, RMD. Yeah, I'm happy to post, what's that thing? Belated birthday.
Yes, sending him belated birthday.
We just wish him.
Yes.
We wished him a happy birthday on his birthday. But,
yeah. Is this us shooting our shots or product placement?
Okay, well. All right, for him to come join us for a quick chat.
Do you get?
That'll be fun.
Okay. So, interestingly, Sunday was the British Grand Prix. I know...
Did you say British?
Are you okay? I said British. Shut up. Yeah, just trying to... Oh, why Jamie, Abby? Oh, why Jamie? The British. Oh, why Jamie, right? You're looking for my trouble.
Okay, go on.
Just because you don't watch Formula One, like me, Mama, don't be jealous of me. Anyways, for those who are interested, our fellow, British, Sir Lewis Hamilton, who drives for Mercedes, Shumo. He came in, in third position. Then Shumo Max Verstappen. Oh, Maury, right?
No, Maury just Lewis Hamilton.
Well, you know Michael Schumacher, right?
Sorry. At least I know that one. I don't know that name that you called now. But I really don't care. Okay. No, the only person I like Formula One in my house is Femi and yeah.
Okay, so that's who I should be talking to now. I shouldn't be talking to you. Anyway, so I don't mind me, Jared. The reason I'm bringing it up is because, obviously this helps us to segue into, the movie we want to review, which is Ford versus Ferrari. I feel like Eniola has a story to tell about that movie before we go.
What
the thing that I did that annoyed you.
So let me tell you guys, right? So we started watching this, and then this human being right here decides that, please, can we pause? I'm like, pause for what now? Like, let me just sleep for like 30 minutes. Who does that when you're watching a movie? Because it's like frustrating, right? Because then you kind of like stop halfway and then you have to watch it. So maybe the movie is like 2 hours, and then now it's like 4 or 6 hours.
It was over 2 hours.
So it's very frustrating because, Femi, you stopped at the middle.
No, I was still in the beginning now.
Okay, so I'm like, you slept throughout, right? So we're like halfway into the movie, and then you decided to say, Eniola, pause it and sleep. That you want to sleep. I'm like, who does this? kilo for a mess.
30
because
plus,
that means
30
that
plus.
OT break flow.
30
and then,
plus.
you know, I have to be worrying my brain about it. It didn't make sense for me. And then what happened was that the 30-minute break that you even had, you still had the audacity to be put in your mouth when I was watching Black Mirror and saying, what? At the end of the day, you didn't sleep. You just, somehow.
But I needed to rest my eyes. If not...
And you can sleep for Africa.
Come on.
No movie that we watch
Come
that you
on.
do not nod off.
Come on.
It's disturbing.
Come on. Why are you... Anyway, I thought we were friends. I thought we were lifelong friends. Why are you opening up like secrets?
No, but ladies, why
guys,
do you not?
It's not true.
Possibly iPhone 80. What's going on? So that means that when we go on a girls' trip, when we're 80 or something, that's like you just be sleeping on me. I'll just say something from Otis Law. You're already snoring.
Time out.
Okay.
Okay.
Promise that you sleep because I'm done.
Time out.
Okay.
All right. So let me just give the synopsis, right? So Ford versus Ferrari, for people who have or haven't watched it, is a biographical sports movie that follows a team of determined Americans, led by the Ford team, who build a race car that can defeat Ferrari in the prestigious Le Mans race in France. Interestingly, for like most Oscar-nominated movies, they don't really do great in the box office, but this movie did over $200 million in the box office, and it was nominated for even Best Picture. They didn't win but they went home with the award for Best Film Editing and Best Sound Editing. And I'll give it up for my man Christian Bale, who he got a Screen Actors Guild nomination for Best Actor in a Lead Role.
And he did so well.
Yes, he did. Like, even, you were saying that, why does he look so gaunt and, skinny? Yeah. But, that just to show how he tried to embody the actual Ken Miles. Because when I saw pictures of, Ken Miles, like, he really, 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 really looked like him and all of that. So,
he did, to be honest. Even the pronounced cheekbones as well.
Yeah. So, it was actually interesting to know that Ford tried to build a sports car, like the Ford that we know nowadays, right? Like, imagine them trying to say they want to.
I don't even get that picture of them. Like, it's it's almost unbelievable that they did attempt to race against Ferrari, and they did. They did win.
Yeah. But do you remember in the beginning where they were like, oh, let's go for a merger with Ferrari, right? And they went all the way to Italy. They tried to do how like Americans just go in and just want to just sweep everybody away.
Bamboozle.
Yeah, and
but that didn't make sense, Femi, because guess what? The guy, the CEO of Ferrari, asked them, right, that he was going to sign, and then he asked them a question that if they don't want someone to race, and Ferrari, and Ford wants the person to race, right? What will be the answer? And then, thankfully, the guy, the marketing guy, I've forgotten his name now, he was quite honest. He said the answer would be no.
Yeah.
And that, the Ferrari guy is also very proud of that. He's like, how can you come all the way here to court me, and then you're saying that I can't make my own decisions. I can't make decisions that I think is great beneficial for the race and all of that. That's when he now said, tell your boss something. He's not Henry Ford.
Yes,
he's Henry Ford the second. That was good. That was really good.
Yeah. Sorry, even though Ferrari were on the brink of bankruptcy, right? Normally, someone may have been, tempted to just take the deal, right? But, I like the fact that the CEO stood his ground because, he knew what Ferrari was worth, right? And then Fiat now bought them over, right? So, but they still got to maintain the whole Ferrari brand and all of that.
Yes. I mean, incredible movie because it has different stories in it, right? So apart from the fact that there was the obvious competition between Ferrari and Ford, there was a part about, even what's his role there now?
Ken Miles
attaining his goal. Ken Miles attaining his goal. He's always loved to race. He's such a great mechanic and all of that. But he also had a family, and he had to fend for them. And racing wasn't bringing as much. Just to drop that off to go and get a regular job must have killed him. But he loved his family a lot and all of that. And the fact that he eventually got to go to Le Mans to go and
to be in the race, right, and to drive.
Yeah, to be in the race and everything. Yes, was a personal achievement. The fact that he helped Ford build a race car that could best Ferrari race car was also a great achievement for him as well, which was a good thing because it tells the story of hope to say if you can only dream it, you can achieve it kind of story, and resonated.
So even just to go add to that, right? Just some key takeaways from the movie, right? So the first thing would be like persistence and determination, right? Because the Ford team, they were persistent and they were determined to put a car in the Le Mans race. They were like anything it takes to get it done. Just get it done, and then we talk about like innovation and engineering, right? How this guy Ken Miles, he listed like quite a number of things that were wrong with the first Ford racing car, right? Like the brakes, the gearbox, the engine that couldn't like last the 24 hours, right? And he came around and he helped engineer a race car that could stand the test of time, right? And I think the car. They used that car they won maybe like 3 or 4 times after this first race that they won, right? So
they did. And I think that even when he also had like a sense of ownership, right? Even when it was clear that I've forgotten his name, the VP didn't want him to race in a car and all that, he still kept on he still kept on improving on the car. And, that's a lot of things. That's one thing that you don't really see in a lot of people that you work with, right? It's one thing for them to work in an organization, but it's another thing for them to take ownership. So I'll give you an example. One of my moms has a bakery and all of that. And once the guys working there realize that she's not going to come in tomorrow, right? So normally they open the doors to the bakery around maybe 5:30 in the morning or 6, right? Because, some people want to come and get bread and all of that, right? Now, once he knows his madam is not coming in, right, he probably will waltz into the bakery at about 8, But unfortunately for him, on this day, someone had wanted to come to the bakery to get bread earlier, and all of that, to buy bread earlier. And then this person actually knows my Egbon. So the person had called my Egbon to say, babe, that I thought you said you guys open up at 6. Exactly, and that's just not fair. Even when your boss is not there, if you say that this is where you're earning a cube from, you should take ownership. And if you feel that at some point you are dissatisfied or you are disengaged, then you take up your mats and leave. You don't just go there and ruin the stuff. I like the fact that he took ownership despite everything. I also like the fact that Ford was very agile. If there was something that needed to be fixed, they fixed it. I like the part where
was it Ford or Carroll Shelby who was the agile one? That's the guy played by Matt Damon.
I meant like the team, because they hired Shelby Automobiles or something to design that car for them, right? So that team, Shelby's team, the fact that they were agile, there was at 7,000. What's that thing? Is
RPM
or something?
RPM,
right?
Rotations per minute.
So at 7,000 RPM, right?
Engineering.
So 7,000 RP, right? That the brakes would run out, and they knew that. So what that would mean is they engineered a lighter brake and all of that. And they found a way to immediately remove the brakes and then slot it back in. And, you know, that just shows some level of agility which people need in their lives, especially in businesses, right? Look at Nokia, for example. They weren't agile enough as far as I'm concerned.
Or BlackBerry.
And that's why they, exactly, BlackBerry, right?
Yeah,
Nokia,
they didn't keep up with the times. Yeah.
Most importantly, right? Because Nokia, or look at Canon and the rest.
No, Canon is still around now. They make cameras.
Not Canon. What's
I think
that
they
one?
Kodak. Yeah.
It's Kodak, I meant to say, right? So, you know, agility is required for success.
Yeah.
You know, being able to adapt to changing times and, you know, being able to move on as quickly as possible. So I liked that they showed some agility. So many lessons to learn.
Teamwork and collaboration, you know, because Carol Shelby, you know, the designer, like he was with Ken Miles, like all through. I mean, he stood up for the guy. He you know, he was there every step of the way with Ken Miles and all of that. I think something that will probably resonate with both of us is corporate culture versus bureaucracy. So
exactly. Hey God, approvals here.
Do you get?
That said is what we're doing. Then somebody will now have an organic brain shift and then come to say, look at how they disgraced Shelby now, because he had already promised Ken that he was going to reach the test. And then they now came back to say no, he won't be able to. Like rubbish, right? Who does that? But that happens a lot in corporate culture. And you know, it's very frustrating when it happens.
And maybe because it was a movie, right? Well, I'm going to go with the context of the movie. He didn't break bottles, or he didn't get upset. He didn't throw tantrums when Carol Shelby told him that you can't raise. Maybe because he had faith or in Carol's friendship, because they were friends, right? So he didn't let any of that get. He wasn't upset. And the funny thing was that he was listening to the race, right? And he was now writing down all the feedback. Oh yeah, I said that about the gearbox. Oh yeah, I said that about the engine. Oh, I said that about the brakes, right? So I, again, like I said, maybe because it was a movie, so they didn't depict. Maybe he could have been a
but there weren't a lot
stubborn
of
guy.
I told you so.
Yes, exactly. He never said.
He had attitude problems, right, in the movie, right? He was very quirky, very outspoken.
Yes.
And he did not give a damn what anybody said. I think he was just very honest and he owned his honesty. And, he
didn't have good public image.
And at some point, he didn't have, and at some time, at a point in time, they couldn't argue with him. And that's the thing, right? So there's a path for politics and there's a path for honesty, right? So some people, there's the office politics and, they do it so well. And sometimes when they don't even know the job, they're able to scale through. And that's life. It's unfortunate, right? But some people, they will be doing the office politics for Moshe and all of that, and it still catches up to them at some point. Yeah. But for some people that are honest, they don't do office politics, right? If you're very honest, you don't do office politics, right? You better let your work speak for itself. At first, there'll be some form of dislike and all of that. But eventually people will be like, that person, a mad guy. But when you get him on a job, right, he's going to do just go to so at some point they will excuse your blatant honesty, but with that honesty must come some form of diplomacy, right? But still stay true to who you are, but do your work, and your work will speak for you. So that in case maybe you're not doing politics to your guy, at least other people will say that she does
she does the work, right?
She does the work, right? Or he does the work, and that's important. So I guess that he wasn't very political, right? So he didn't care for all of it.
He wasn't even
at some point
at all political.
He couldn't even
there was
be
no
at
iota
all.
of political in him.
But he was good.
Yes.
So he would drive a car and say, this is not good. The gearbox is not good. The brakes are not.
The car is too heavy. The aerodynamics are bad.
Exactly. So and that kind of worked for them, because without Ken Miles, the collaboration of Ken Miles and Shelby, they probably wouldn't have won that race, right? So
maybe they would have found another genius, but they would have in this context, and then another key takeaway for me was their friendship, right? And their loyalty, because they both trusted and respected each other, right? So Carol trusted Ken Miles to do what he needed to do, and then Ken trusted Carol to do what he needed to do, right? So, there was no, are you sure? Are you sure? It was like, Ken, do you trust me? Okay, no problem.
We're having fun.
What do you say?
Fems, you need to go back because you went off. You were saying one key takeaway. You went off.
Okay, let me listen.
So say that again.
So one key takeaway for me would be the friendship and loyalty that existed between Ken and Carol, right? The fact that they trusted, and they respected one another. They had like a shared, passion for, racing. Because I think Carol was actually a former layman racer, right? He just maybe didn't make it to the end, and it just goes to show, how mutual respect for and shared passion, can go a long way in, achieving your goals or achieving your dreams, right? Like, man is not in an island, right? So, I can't imagine if I didn't have a friend like you who I, fully trusted, sometimes, I mean, you told me, Femi, don't worry, this thing will get done. And, I know that I can go and sleep because Eniola has already said, Femi, don't worry, this thing will get done, right? So, we need that, as well as individuals, and all of that. Even, also my friend Dami, right? So, if Dami says, Femi, I got you, I would know that, I can go and sleep like a baby, right? Because, she's going to,
100, right?
Go and get things done, right? So that was something that I took away from the movie.
Yeah, so I think that, right, all in all, spectacular movie. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that you see how, in this over 2 hour film thingy, right? It had a lot of lessons that you could learn. Power of resilience, tenacity, hard work,
grit,
teamwork, collaboration. Grit. Like Carlos would say at work, right?
Grit. Yes.
I love that. I still haven't read that book, so I need to go read it. But
you should.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Oldie but goodie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So just
not recent, oldie but goodie.
Just two things that I just want to talk about the movie, right? So remember when during the race where Carol Shelby went to the Ferrari pit, right? And he found a bolt. Mm-hmm. He found a bolt on the floor. No, he found a bolt and he threw it on the floor in their midst, right? And then they didn't know what happened though. They just started getting confused and they were just running helter-skelter and they were just confused, right?
They were panicking.
That's how God causes confusion in our enemies' camp.
In the camp of your enemies. Like when God just decides that they're planning against you, God will just drop bomb. Everybody just doing helter-skelter.
Yes.
Like nothing went wrong with their plan.
Nothing,
no small thing that God has done, they can't move on.
Yes, they got really confused, right? And then the other part was, towards the end of the race where they said they wanted the three Ford cars to get to the line at around the same time. God, I was so upset. This guy has fought tooth and nail. His hard work, his sweat has gone into making sure that this particular Ford GT40 gets to the finish line, and now you want me to slow down after everything I have done. And I like what he did, right?
He didn't win.
No, is that why he didn't win? I like what he did though. He made sure that he beat all his records. And then you remember the time where he got to almost the finish line and there was nobody behind him, and then that's when he started to slow down. Okay, I was like, okay, it's okay.
That speaks to strength of character. But Shelby went back to fight, Ford, to say that decision kind of cost them first place, right? Yes. So they had already. So let me explain, right? They had already messed up. There was a time that the VP called someone and then they put up something to say easy miles. Right, can you remember?
Easy miles.
So they put boy
shut up,
right? So so all of those things were kind of cost him. So he still won, but they now counted it based on distance covered.
Yeah, distance covered. And I think that's the that's the main driver for the Le Mans race, right? Like the driver who can cover the most distance. I mean, and then that was where he now said that, where he thanked Carol that, I may not have won, but at least you kept your word, and
you didn't promise me
a win, right? A drive, yeah. So that was, I really like that. But apparently there's a lot of controversy around how he actually died, because we, towards the end of the movie, we see that, he was driving and he had gone past the 7,000 RPM, and he was test driving, and then the car exploded. So I mean, again, nobody really knows what actually happened. So there's a lot of controversy, there's a lot of conspiracy theory, and all of that. But the ultimate thing is that he died just after like 2 or 3 months, after that massive win, right? So it just goes to show the brevity of life, and how we should take each day, as important, and count our days, and you just make sure that every day you show up, that you're showing up as the best version of yourself. Everything, you approach everything with excellence, ownership, and all of that. So that was it for me, though.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it. I don't know if it should be rating it. The most important thing is people should go and see.
Should see it, right?
Definitely a 10 for me. Definitely a 10 for me.
And
it's a good movie.
And also, it speaks to the way I drive my car, the way I speed, or I try to speed. I always think that I'm a Formula One driver. Femi Hamilton.
With your car, that makes sense. Driving, she's very rough. Okay, well, not rough.
I'm not rough.
Because Momsi might be listening.
Even if I'm not rough.
Aggressive, back off.
Yes, now.
I think I'm like that too sometimes.
I'm practicing for when I get to, the Autobahn is it Germany? Is it Autobahn? Yeah, Autobahn in Germany, where you can drive as fast as you want. So
I don't get what people get from racing, Koyemi.
It's the need for speed.
It's got a lot of. Oh God! Please, don't try and make it into some kini.
Adrenaline pumping.
The dangers, inherent in this sport for me. I don't think that it's worth the adrenaline.
Well, it's high risk, high reward, right?
There's always the probability. There's a high possibility that you hit something, the car crashes, you burn, there's an inferno, there's blah, 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 and there's a possibility that you're driving on that racetrack and all of that, you won't come out alive. Why do you want to do that? Why?
But if you look at it, right, there's a probability that as you're sitting down in that office, right, a plane can come in and crash into that building. If you think about, 9/11, right? So it's like, why not just do what you want to do, right? Like, you can even be driving at 10 kilometers per hour, and some random drunk driver just comes and hits you, right? So it's like, there's risk in everything. Amen.
Driver will drive me.
Amen. No, but come on. I'm just giving an analogy, right? Like, there's risk in everything. Just be clear.
No. Don't analogize it and whatever.
Well, it's not specific to you.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't do any analogy.
Okay, there's a probability that somebody. Amen. Someone. But I think it's called like extreme sports, right? All this like mountain bike, dirt bike. Yeah, it's too extreme, right? But again, high risk, high reward. People that are into it, they know what they are looking for. They know what is missing in their lives that they're looking for. So, to each his own or her own.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's session.
Yeah.
Of course, these days we need to talk about. I can't remember the episode at the moment, because this is the first time we're actually recording where Femi is away.
Yeah.
I'm in Nigeria and she's somewhere that looks like she's in one country, but I think that she really is in the Bronx. But then again, okay, not in the Bronx, sha, but she's at somewhere with this beanie that she's wearing in a very funny way. You know, she's not here. This is the first time we're trying this out. I hope our producer is able to make some sense of it. You know, it's fun having to watch her via Zoom.
And watch you too via Zoom.
Yeah, that's nice.
Madiba, the home of Madiba.
Oh God!
Shout out to our ancestors.
You always have to come out with all of these things. Article, essay babe.
Yes, Saudi babe.
Dressed like an Eskimo, just small coat. We can't even dream of us going to the.
That's how I saw snow yesterday in Africa. Snow in Africa, yeah. It snowed yesterday here for like 20 minutes.
I never knew that.
Yeah, apparently.
And I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting. So they normally makes sense, right? Because snow now, it's Christmas, Abby. So yeah.
Exactly. Snow is associated with Christmas. So imagine getting snow in July. It's weird.
Very much. Go bad now. Yeah, but say, snow angel.
It wasn't that bad. It was just like flurries. It didn't stick to the ground, right? So
I've ever had like a white one where everywhere is covered in white. So I wonder.
So they said in like the mount where they shall have plenty mountains, it snows
like
there.
In the north.
Yeah, it snows there.
Right.
Yeah. So okay. It's a wrap.
Guys, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a wrap.
Bye.
See you all next week. Bye. Is it see you all next week?
No.
Well, okay, sure.
Smell you later. Catch you all next week. We need a better end phrase.
Okay, we'll think about it. Maybe we'll chat GPT it or something.
I know, right? All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Goodbye.